And welcome back to part 7 of Devil May Cry 2. This time we're going to finally break into hell to try and find Arius and end Dante's story, because we're actually there now. When we whack the eyeball, the hole will open up and we'll get our challenge that we need to do to get into hell. I'm just getting these orbs just so we can boost our rank at the end, because these are the only orbs here. This lump here, hitting it with something, even no matter how hard you try, it does not mean your sword. What it wants you to do when enemies spawn in, because when we go to open hell, enemies will spawn in, is knock the enemy into that and make them bounce off. You do it enough times, it will open up. But problem is that doing that and doing the challenge that you've got to do here, because the idea is that you have to kill every single enemy that under a certain time limit to be able to get into hell. You'll do it in under 3 minutes. So getting both the reward for cracking this open and killing all the enemies is a lot harder. It probably will take 2. I'll see if I can do it. If I can get this done quick, I'll be fine. All I need to do is just have the game's auto lock on work for me. Oh, there we go. That was quite quick. We might be able to do it now. It just might be a bit closer than what it could be. But this is worth getting because it's essentially the Quicksilver of this game. I won't be using it in the same way I didn't use the bangle in the first game, but it allows you to have control of time with your devil trigger. Chrono Heart, magic stone for heart of an old god that could go on for eternity. Manipulating time in DT. That's pretty neat and all, but I'll keep offense heart for the extra damage, and I'll put back flame heart on, because now we're going to have to go into DT to try and see if we can do this quick enough. Because there's quite a lot of enemies yet, unfortunately. They want this to last most of the 3 minutes. Like, they give you enough time that if you can do it without DT, I'm only using DT to make up for the lost time of messing around at the start. But if we can start thinning out the numbers quickly and then get to the goats, because I know they're like the last few waves are just the goatlings or the hell goats or whatever version of them, just a version of the goat monsters, then if I can get to them as quick as possible, then I can relax a little bit. It's just depending on how much time we have, because this might be quite close. And I don't particularly want to have to do all of this again just to do it. If I can squeeze them both in one go, I'll be pretty happy. Damn it, I keep on hoping that the Stinger will have just that teeny tiny bit more range than it actually does. Oh, here they are, the Abyss Goats. Thankfully, I think there's only 3 in the area, but I think there's another wave after this one once these guys go. But I think the next wave's the last one. So I think this is the last wave, so hopefully we'll be able to get it done in time. As we get kicked from behind there. I don't really see the point of why they put this here. It's like, okay, let's just make it so you have to kill a bunch of enemies under a time limit. What? Why? Is it just because you liked using the time limit in that previous mission and you thought it wasn't being used enough? Like, it just doesn't seem like there should be a point to it. It's just here anyway. Oh, and there's more Demino choruses. Actually, this might be a bit close. I should be able to get it, I think. Of course, it just barely misses again because the Sting is terrible in this game. Oh, then we did do it. Neat. I didn't think we'd be able to. I didn't think. I had a feeling that we just would barely run out of time enough to do it again. But alright, I'll take that. Hopefully, I'll get like a B rank at least. Yeah, a B at least. Of course, it can never give me anything more generous than that. I did it quick and I did it alright. No, B. Here you go. But on to the next mission. This mission is the last proper level of the game. Mission 17 and 18 are both just boss fights. So this is going to be the rest of the video. This is a longish level with a lot of layers to it and a lot of stuff to do. There's also 2 secret missions that will end up stacking us to 20, and enough blue orbs to get us every single other piece of health we need. So then the only thing we need to do is buy the last chunk, and then we can be on full. Assuming I'm close enough to do so. And because of this game's being more linear, you can't backtrack back out to the city, nor would you ever want to, really. Now you've entered Arius' hellish tower. And I must be clear, this isn't proper hell. This is just Arius' own dimension, sort of thing. Like, it's a twist of the reality, sort of thing. It's sort of like the mirror dimension, I think is the only way to really put it, when you was on the Malay Island. It's sort of just there, but you're still technically not in hell. Hell we will be going for the final boss, but not yet. You can still sort of see the city out back. Doing those high-end textures. I don't know if the buildings in the background are actually lowering. I can't really tell because I'm concentrating on the enemies as well. Oh, I didn't even mean to do that. I'll take that. I was just trying to dodge at them. Oh, and there goes our bingo. Oh yeah, they are lowering. I just looked back on them and I'm pretty sure they're all lower than they were. There we go. What's this? Oh, just a red orb. Oh, I'm always hopeful. Yeah, thanks for that, Dante. Thing is, they put the Statue of Fate here because you can backtrack to this. This is the only room that you can consistently backtrack to for most of this, so they put it there so you can just go back to it if you get stuck. Because up here is a little bit of a maze-esque environment. Because right now, it's pretty much a straight line. You'd be like, oh, what are you on about? But every time we do something, we return to this and they add more rooms. And so there'll be more tunnels between the rooms and it starts to become slightly bigger and more maze-like as it goes on. Which would be fine if it wasn't for the fact, if I remember correctly, it gets really dark in the later turns of it. Like they take the light, more and more lights out the further you go along it. And as I've mentioned several times through this, lighting is a big issue in this game as well. Keeping things consistently visible is not their easiest thing. Actually, what am I doing? Can I just jump up it? Yeah, I can just jump up here. Then what's the whole point of that puzzle? That you can just jump up. And that's a sacrilege that we need. Every sacrilege you take back to the door you entered with will darken the room and add more to it. But we've got mission 19 here, or room 19, with another fancy little design here for the second to last one. When I say that, this one's technically the last proper one. Because I did look into it, and the thing that I asked for is in the 20th secret room. There is a boss that you get to rematch. It's just Arius again, unfortunately, so it's nothing imaginative. It's just Arius fight 1 again, but it's better than nothing. Like, it'd be better if it was Bulwark again, but I do understand that you already fought Bulwark, and we're already going to fight him again this mission anyway. But Bulwark's at least an actually fun fight. Oh, I did get the S. That's why I shut up for a sec, just to see if I could get it. Even because as soon as it died, I was like, ah. But maybe, I know you can sort of juggle their corpses a little bit, but not much. Alright, let's backtrack. But first, let's collect all these red orbs, see what we can find around. Oh, there's a... Oh my gosh! Seriously, is it that hard to find places to put blue orb fragments? That's so many blue orbs this game's just given us, for goodness sake. Anyway, let's get the last of these red orbs and get out of here. To be fair, we've got quite a healthy amount now of red orbs. We might actually be able to get my wish of maxing out the health for the final boss. Even though it's kind of pointless, I just like looking at the fact that it'd be a max like 20 unit bar. I never like it when I get it to like 18 or 19 and it's either because I'm missing a fragment or because of one dumb secret mission. Perfect example, DMC4. I was on 19 health for ages because I couldn't do the perfect guard challenge. I'm terrible at perfect royal guards. I just can't do them. Especially when the challenge was 5 in a row. You couldn't do anything else. It just had to be the 5 guards. Oh, I forgot, there's no button to interact with the door. If you're just near it, you just interact with it. But we need to go back on ourselves and go this way, because that's the way we need to go, I believe. Oh, there is another enemy. If I just keep shooting, eventually I'll be able to like maintain my rank somewhat. Oh, there is another enemy over here as well. Ah, of course you teleported away. Piece of shit. I probably would have been the one to get the S again. Yeah, so now it's just become a lot more decrepit and damaged and just off. And eventually everything will look like this the more we do. And here's Bulwark Fight 2. With his wolfy buddies again. Because of course, you can't just fight Bulwark. I believe it's mostly the same fight, he's just got a bit like better defense and hits a bit harder. And obviously a different arena. But like minus the wolves, like I said before, this is like the only really good fight in the game. And even then, that's not saying much because it's just a basic human versus human-like being fight. You can't. It's hard to do those fights wrong. like the only two good fights I remember, the only two good fights from 4 were the 2 human fights. So being able to fight Dante and then the humanoid of Credo. Because all the other fights, yeah, they weren't bad, but they were nowhere near as good. They were kind of forgettable in comparison. The only reason you didn't forget them is because, like DMC1, you fought the bosses in that game 3 times. Which I'd be both curious to and hoping against if DMC5 comes around, like if they make us fight bosses again. Unless it's something like Virgil, where it's a rival character that grows as you grow throughout the game. That I'm down with, but just making you fight a boss again, unless, like I said before, it's in a secret mission, no, I don't think it's necessary. Especially if DMC5 has been in development as long as the rumours suggest. I'd be a little disappointed. Assuming the game's brilliant, I wouldn't mind anyway, but I'd be a tad disappointed anyway if they just reused bosses. No, you see that they'll throw in Phantom again. I mean, he's already in 2 DMCs. Why not let him put him in a 3rd one? Even though his purpose in being in DMC2 is never explained, never spoken about. It just happened. You kill him, you move on. Even though he was dead and completely dead, done in for good in DMC1, they magically bring him back for no reason other than, hey, look at this thing you fought before. Probably the same reason they brought back the bloody skulls. Instead of bringing back any proper enemies like the Frosts or Blades or just anything interesting, no, they just bring back those things. Hell, I'd even take back the marionettes at this point. Alright, now it's trying to work out where to go next. Because I can still kind of see, just not as well. And there's more enemies about, and I don't mind fighting these guys for now. If I get lost, then I'll stop bothering to fight them, because I know it is easy to use your bearings and get lost. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but you never know my luck. I just want to see how many S ranks I can get, see if I can actually get a decent rank at the end of this mission for once. Actually, maybe I might actually get an S rank, so I still need to get that trophy, get an S rank on any mission. If I don't, I'll just go back and get that and get it on the mission I got the A rank on, the one against like the fire demon. Because it's just that thing, and I know I can do it no damage, very little issue with how range based it is. So all I need to do is just like dodge near it to build the stylish meeting up, and then just kill it, and then make sure to get in and get the red orbs to boost it, and then I can probably get the S from that. Lucia, on the other hand, well, like I said, that'll be all new, so I have no idea how that'll go. I'll give it my best, but no promises. Ow! Oh, you. So there's not much to say, we're just killing more of these jackasses and moving around in a dark environment, doing the same thing in each room. Enter it, find the sacrilege, leave. Oh, and we went the wrong way. Neat. God damn it. We went back to the starting room. Where is it then? I probably passed it. Like, oh yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, it's down here. I can see it. It was just barely out of my view before. It was too. The environment's too bloody dark. But this area looks decrepit as all hell. And oh boy, abyss goats. I bet we have to kill these guys to get it. And because they put stuff in the environment that you can't destroy, oh, we're getting some great view of the action. I'm so looking forward to getting this game done. I'll get this game done. I'll try and get more Final Fantasy 15 done because there is more recorded. It's just editing right now is the thing, which is why it's taken a while because it's a lot to edit. But I will get to it, I promise. That is the only thing I will promise. I'll never promise when it comes out, but I'll promise I will get to it. It's not something that will be abandoned. There we go. Hopefully that's the last one and we can move on now. Because I know there's one more upgrade for the Devil Trigger we need to get, and it is in this mission. And I believe when you put in the last sacrilege, it unlocks the way you need to go, but it also unlocks the door to go get what you need to get. So this looks really... The thing is that they made it more destroyed, yet I can actually see it now because they have like this red tint on it that makes everything just that bit more visible. But I believe this is the right way. Yes, it is. Next we need this, and it says prove yourself before the winged goat. Now I don't know if this challenge is just kill the enemies or do it no damage. So I'll try and do it no damage, and if I get hit and it fails it, then we'll know for certain. If I don't get hit, then the mystery continues. But I think with it just being, because we fought these guys so many times before, they're not just going to say, alright, kill these guys, no worries. They're going to make it, do it no damage. Either that or do it under a certain amount of time. That's also a possibility. Oh, that was easy. And that was it, alright. The mystery continues. Because I don't think I took any damage. I did it pretty quickly. I'm not sure what justifies that. But we get our new and final power-up. So for the last time in Dante's story, we're going to see this little cutscene of him getting it, triggering his devil trigger, like spazzing out, and throwing it to the side, and we get Frost Heart. So now we've got ice ability. Neat. Which is actually pretty handy when you think about all the demons we're fighting now are hell spawns and fiery demons, so for them to give us ice at this part in the game, that's kind of handy. But thankfully we're done with all the sacrilege stuff, so all we can do is just find our lift to get back up to the top and get out of here. And then we can finally get our final bosses done, yay! And we're done with the first story. I know Lucia's story's shorter, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm not looking forward to it anyway. Have I been here? Oh, there's a door at the back, okay. So you don't have to go find it, you just put the sacrilege back in afterwards if you want to go for the extra reward. Neat. Ow. You can't even see the background in this time on this one. You can't see if it's rising or not, it's just purple. But we do have another boss yet, unfortunately. We can't just finish the mission here. No, that'd be too easy. That's why they give you a random green orb for a door. Because we're going to move on, and the camera is going to have a paddy and take us someplace else for some reason. As we get another boss. And this one, Dante actually talks to. I wonder if he's actually going to say something witty or clever or just, you know, something that sounds like Dante. Let's see what the demon has to say, eh?
The son of Sparta, you must repent your sins.
Don't speak. Just die.
Classy, Dante. Classy. There's like comedic about that. Yeah, I remember this boss. This boss takes an eternity because there's nothing else you can really do other than shoot it, because it only comes in close on very select attacks, and the window to hit it when it comes in is tiny. And yeah, it will do extra damage if you can hit physical, but you're not getting it is the problem. So I'll probably just speed this up and be done with it, because this is all we're doing, is dodging and shooting. Every so often the thing will come back together in all three forms and sit at the back and shoot more shit, so you can get extra damage because you'll hit all three of them at once. But other than that, we'll be here all day, so I'm gonna speed this up. Just because look at this, there's nothing interesting about this. There we go. That took way too long. I'm not looking forward to doing that on hardened DMD. That'll take for even longer. But we're not done yet. There's still one more secret mission to do, remember? Jump on Arius's chair and interact with it. I'm not kidding. And there you go. The final secret room. The first wave is just a bunch of enemies, the second wave is a group of enemies, but it'll be Arius fight 1 again as well. Because I say that, but I don't actually know if Arius does anything new. I just know he has different minions in fight 2. I don't know if he himself actually does anything special. Probably not, knowing this game. Right. There he is. Good to see you again, Arius. Oh, I forget, if he does the vortex on the ground, you get thrown into it. It does a little bit of damage and throws you away. There we goes. That wasn't too hard, were you, Arius? Kind of a waste of time there. They could have picked a lot of other bosses, but then they did make us fight the Orangorilla or Arangura or whatever the fuck they want to call it, just at random. So they could have easily just done that again if they really wanted to. But there's our last fragment, and that's our last blue orb. So now the only blue orbs we're missing are the ones we need to buy, which is pretty cool, and hopefully we'll be able to have enough by the end of this. But we go into here and it'll take us to Arius's room. God, we got a D on the time. Wow, you got to be pretty quick on that then. There we go. All we got left now is to fight the 2 final bosses of the game. So next time we'll do just that and finish Dante's story. But until then, you guys take care now.